What's up, everybody? YouTubers, Facebook, all our friends and family. I know it's been a while since y'all seen me. Got a special episode going on today. We out here in beautiful Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. We got us a little fishing boat, man. We out here fishing and just talking, man. We're gonna be talking about a lot of topics today, hitting on a lot of key points, a lot of verses out of the Bible. It's a special trip today because of course I got my partner on the boat, my wife, always with me, and special guest Caleb, the cameraman, right here. Yeah.
I was just filming jump.
And you know, my buddy Mark, Mission Advance TV. We're just gonna be out here filming and trying to catch some fish, man. Enjoying God's festivities and trying to put together something for y'all, man. And hopefully it reaches the right people and gets in front of the right eyes and inside the right minds. And so let's get to it. The positive.
Wait. Do I got something? No. You got
all right.
Whoa, I got something. I think I do.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he does.
That's a flounder.
It's a flounder.
All right. Caleb caught the first fish. God answer my prayer, son.
You be the first one.
All right, you good? Bring him on in.
Yep, that's a flounder.
It ain't gonna reel up no more. Oh. Yeah, watch out, baby. That joker's got teeth. Caleb done caught him a flounder, buddy.
And then come over here so you can see his teeth.
Oh yeah, he got little piranha teeth.
Yeah.
Oh man, he ate that. He ate that joker, son.
This passage is from Matthew chapter 4.
Yeah.
And it's when Jesus starts his ministry and he's calling his disciples. And it says, as Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come follow me, Jesus said, and I will make you fishers of men. And at once they left their nets and followed him. What do you think is a fisher of men? And even beyond that, how does it relate to regular fishing?
To me, I think a fisher of men is basically like you know, like we talked about last time. We was talking about what was the Great Commission,
Right.
where they went out beyond the church and you know went out you know above past the church walls and started ministering to people out there, you know, ministering to people that's lost. And to me, that's what a fisher of men is. You know, it's just, you know, and it incorporates in like we're doing now with fishing. You know, you come out here, we got this boat for 8 hours. We've got one keeper fish in the thing. We've been out here for probably 4 hours. When we first got out here, we was up here at the jetties. Waves was beating us to death. It was a little chilly. Now the wind's blowing, but the sun's coming out, it's getting hot. You know, we still got more hours to fish, but if we want to catch productive fish, we got to stay at it. And you know, it's like when we go out in these communities and mentor people and reach out to other people that are lost, people that don't know Christ, people that, you know, never heard anything about Jesus, it's not always going to be easy. You know, you're gonna have to bear with the elements. You know, you might go into neighborhoods that's just calm and laid back, and the people want to hear what you got to say. But then you might go into places where it becomes a danger to you. You know, and I mean, that's what I think being a fisher of men is. You know, going out just like you do in the lakes and the rivers, going to different spots, and then like today, if we only take home that one fish. Your son caught his first fish.
Yeah.
My wife caught her first flounder. We had one keeper. That made this whole 8-hour trip worth it. Just like when we shoot these videos, or when we go into these, you know, gang-related neighborhoods or these poverty neighborhoods, and we can just reach one person, one soul. If we could save one person, bring one person closer to Christ, I think it's worth it.
Thinking about it last night, and I was thinking bait. And I was thinking, it kind of sounds like it cheapens the gospel by you trying to bait somebody up, but then I started thinking about Jesus.
Yeah.
When he preached the gospel, he also used miracles. I mean, he healed people.
Yeah.
He made the blind to see. He cast out demons. He multiplied the bread and the fish. So I would say your perspective on different kinds of people and how you approach them differently, not as baiting them, but depending on the type of person,
Yeah.
you're going to approach them in a different way when it comes to God.
Oh yeah, a lot different way. Yeah, you know, like you say, depending on, you know, who you're reaching, sometimes you have to get on. I wouldn't really say get on their level, but you got to kind of get their attention. You know, that's like Stephanie could go places and speak with somebody about God that probably wouldn't have me in there.
Yeah.
I could go in places that would draw people's attention that you and Caleb probably would get, you know, no, they wouldn't even recognize y'all,
Yeah.
you know. And so, you know, I think maybe God, like you said with the bait thing, you know, maybe we're the bait. You know, we get out here in this world, which is the living waters, you know, where the people's at, the lost people, and we're the bait. You know, and we go to these different places and we find these people that are lost, and we find these people that need to hear about Jesus. So yeah, that was a good.
I think also you got, like, when you're fishing, you got a tackle box.
Yeah.
That's all of your strategy. That's all of your stuff that you're going to use to catch the fish. And I think it's very similar to, like, you learning the apologetics Bible, because you encounter so many different people with so many different belief systems. It helps to have in your tackle box in your head,
In your arsenal,
understanding what they believe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that you can better reach them.
And you know, that's, you know, we get to, it's also good, you know, like you was talking about the tackle box, it's good to have. If I would have tried to go out and reach people 2 years ago, I probably could have reached people, but when they start asking me these questions that they ponder in their minds and stuff like that, without doing the research, without reading the Bible, without digging in deep to the Word, without hanging out with people like you and hanging out with other pastors and really digging in and studying and getting to know God and getting, you know, having God really open my eyes to certain things in the Bible, I would be lost.
Yeah.
It'd be like you say, like coming out here fishing. You got bait, you got a pole, but you don't have a hook.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I believe that that's important, you know, that you know, when we come close to God and we get a relationship with God, that we learn everything that we can learn. Because God is going to use us to put us in places to reach people. And if we don't know what to teach them, we're not going to reach them. And to me, that's important, because it's like, if I go on a YouTube video, if somebody says, hey man, you need to go check out these guys on this YouTube video, they'll teach you how to catch all the fish in the world. But then when I go on there and I don't learn nothing, I'm not going to go back to that same YouTube channel to find out how to fish.
Yeah.
And that's like with God, you know, especially for somebody coming from my side of the fence. You know, a life of crime, a life of violence, a life of gangs, a life of drugs. Sometimes people just say, hey man, just give it to God. Or hey man, you know, you got to go to church, you got to get saved, you got to make everything better in your life, but it don't happen like that.
Yeah.
And when I gave it a try and it didn't work, I'm like, man, this crap don't work. And it took me a lot to get, and it wasn't until you know, I sat down with you and you know, other things that transpired in my life, and you know, God started showing me things. But it wasn't until I really got serious about my relationship with God and actually sat down and spoke with him, you know, whether it be through my prayers or however, and he started opening up doors and passages for me in the Bible. It wasn't until I started getting a real understanding that I started seeing that, yeah, God, you know, really is the way, that he really is helping me. So yeah, I think it's important that when we go out here and we do these, you know, do the things that we do, that we have a tackle box full of everything that we need for all different conditions.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, we talking to this type of people, or this type of people. So
how does patience fit in, being a fisherman and a fisher of men?
yeah. Well, if you're Stephanie, you don't have to have patience because she keeps reeling them in. But you got to have patience out here fishing. You're not just gonna pull up to a spot and as soon as you throw it in, catch a bunch of fish. If you are, you're at a paid pond.
Yeah.
And not to get off the subject, but it kind of, and to me, a paid pond is like a church.
Yeah.
You can go into church and find everybody in that church to talk to about God, you know, and they're gonna listen. But those people already have God in their life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we said earlier, it's like getting outside the walls of the church, getting into these neighborhoods, you know, stepping over the line to find these people. And you got to have patience. You know, you're not going. I got a cousin of mine that the whole time we was in jail, you know, this was after I changed my life around. Oh, this was as I was, you know, transitioning to changing my life around. And I told my cousin, I said, I used to tell him about God. We had a little church going on at the jail. He'd stop by 10, 15 minutes. He'd leave. When he came home, you know, we talked a lot. And he had something happen to him in his life that was a game changer. And me and Stephanie went down there and you know, prayed for the whole situation, prayed for the family. And God showed him a miracle, man. I mean, a miracle. And it's every now and then I see him posting stuff on Facebook that's God related, or his fiancée will post something that's God related. And it's taken, how long have I been home? I've been home 3 years. So it's taken almost 4 years, but it's been a process. But I never gave up on him. And I think a lot of what it is he didn't even believe in God, but now he believes in God, not only for the miracle that God did for him and his family, but because he sees it in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he used to run the roads with me. He knew how violent I was, how crazy I was, how spun out I was on drugs. But he sees what God did in me and did in my life. And he knows there's something. For Chad to go from this, it's got to be something. It's not old age. It's not that I've gotten older and I've gotten wiser. It has nothing to do with that. You know, none of that. You know, I don't even have the same mentality, the same mind frame. I think different. I operate different. But it's just patience. You know, God don't work overnight. You're not going to come in off the streets or be having a bad day or a bad week or a bad year and just pray and pray and pray to God and it's going to change overnight. It's not. And that, you know, that's when we got to have faith. But I feel secure and I feel good at night because I see it like this. God didn't put us through any struggles. My belief is, I don't think God puts us in predicaments or takes people from us or puts us through tragedies. I don't believe that.